talents, people who've been through the game for longest. Because another thing that's come up is, you know, the generations. You know, some people feel like the old heads don't understand the Gen Z, and that's why there's a bit of disconnect. But that's why we're having, you know, people with like such an age gap.
You think they don't understand them?
Yeah, that's what's been going on. Per conversations we've been having.
Well, true.
Do you disagree? Do you agree?
Not entirely. Not entirely.
Tell me why.
I think the people of old, I mean, people who have been in this game for a while, have the tenacity. I mean, they've really learned. A lot of them didn't just get into what they're doing because they loved it, but they learned on
So do you
the
think
job.
it's more of the young generation's fault in terms of longevity and sustaining a career?
I think we're dwelling too much on soft life, and nobody wants to go through the heat, but we want to. We all want to get into the glam. We all want to be on the screens. We all want to be doing the amazing things we love to do, but we're not considering what we have to go through to get there. So we're looking at the beginning and the end. The pathway
journey, right?
is not one thing we consider.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's something definitely to look at. But like I said, that's why we have these conversations. And thank you so much for making time. And somebody who's been very passionate and consistent in his career is Asamoah Gyan.
Exactly.
I mean, versatility, again, passion, you know, the courage to go through things and to sustain. Before we get to the story, what do you take from someone like Asamoah Gyan, being through all he's been through and standing the test of time with his soccer, with writing a book and all that he's doing right now?
Personally, I'm super proud of Asamoah Gyan wherever he is. I mean, he's a great motivation. I'll call Asamoah Gyan one of the people who have multiple personalities. I mean, the one instance is a footballer, the next instance he's a musician, the next instance and he does it so well, you see. And every time he tries to reach to a personality of his that we know him for, he does it and does it so well. He invests a lot into it. I mean, he's an entrepreneur. He just wrote a book, and he does it so well. You should have been to his lunch. I mean, I saw videos.
I saw videos, right?
I mean, it's so amazing. I mean,
it makes me want to write a book. If they're going to buy it for that much,
I'm buying it.
Yeah, I'm buying it. You know? But it's incredible to see. Do you think, and the story is like he's working on new music. Yeah. I think it's been, what, almost 10 years?
Almost a decade.
Yeah.
Almost a decade.
Almost
a decade. And, I mean, he's done 4 songs, and this will be the 5th song. But looking at the video, I don't think it's a song.
This is like a feature.
Yeah, it looks like a feature. And listening to, so I critically listened to the sound and the background, and it seems like he's doing a verse for a budding artist. And it's a good thing for the older generation and people who already have the experience to try very hard to support and everybody's calling for home support, and this is one very significant thing that's happening in the space, especially with Asamoah Gyan. I think the artist is called Tiani or something. I mean, I have heard the actual song, but I think he was trying to put a verse on it in the video that was circulating on social media.
Do you think someone like Asamoah has anything to prove? Because we see athletes, right, who've been in it for the longest time. Cristiano Ronaldo, people feel like he still has something to prove. Artists like Sarkodie, people feel like he always has something to prove. And when we're talking about this story, and it was an incredible thing to see his growth, right? People feel like he doesn't even get enough credit for all the things that he's doing. Do you feel like someone like Asamoah has something to prove?
Asamoah has something to prove. The issue is who he's proving it to. The issue is about us, you know, Ghanaians and quotes. I mean, sometimes the reception is very dull. But when you focus on our reception, you might not move even an inch ahead of what you've been doing.
Sadly,
so unfortunate. But I mean, he has a lot to prove, and he has a lot within him. And I'm super glad he's not letting the things he's hearing from outside, the false news people write about him. I mean, all these other things bring him down. He's doing his possible best to still manifest all the faces of him he has. And we acknowledge and thank him for that.
With people in the creative space, right, and per discussions, again, I've had so many times on this show, it seems like, again, the audience, and when you're releasing something, you don't usually get the reception. I mean, it happens once in a while, or it happens for, let's say, people who've been able to be consistent. Why do you think that's the case here? And again, is it attitude? Is it the kind of content we're releasing? Is it that the audience are not connecting as much? When you've been in the game for so long, does the audience get bored? Because we say these things, but we see Afrobeats, for example, is doing so well here, it's so big. We see the movie industry is not where it wants to be. And I had a discussion with a movie critic not too long ago, and was like, we got too bored of Kumawood. That was his analysis.
Which
That's
I disagree.
Exactly, right? He said it was like, we got too bored of Kumawood. It was the same thing over and over and over. So who is this on more so when creatives are releasing content? And why do you disagree with the Kumawood aspect of stuff?
I will touch on the Kumawood aspect first. Please remind me if I'm veering off to somewhere I don't have to be. I have been in the film industry for a while. I'm not too old, but at least I've been in it for about 8 to 9 years. And it's not easy producing in Ghana. There are a lot of things that, I mean, at a point, some of the amazing features were coming from Kumawood. I mean, the best, some of the, let me list a few. Kumasi Nyonko by Samuel Nyameche, Asoriba by Samuel Nyameche, and a whole lot of other films were produced in Ghana, and they were doing so well. We were appreciating it. I think the only issue that came in or tried to creep its way into the industry space in terms of the Kumawood was the let me say the quality of production. But now they are doing well. I mean, they are doing well. Some are doing so well. But when it comes to stories, they have amazing stories, original stories. I mean, there were times we were in Ghana here, and we've seen films that have been, I mean, copied in quotes. I mean, redone in our own way, and people take ownership to that. I mean, that's not really an issue because you have the right of adaptation. You can adapt a film, a book, or anything. But with Kumawood, they are doing so well.
So why isn't it where it was some years back?
Kumawood is what has kept our movie industry till date.
Even now?
Yes. Because how many of the so-called Accra films were being produced? I mean, a lot of people were scared. During the days when you used to buy CDs, do movies and put them on CDs, Kumasi people buy. Especially when they see their favorite characters in there. They buy. So Kumawood...
So is it still doing as well?
Kumawood is not bad. But I would honestly say Kumawood is what's keeping our industry till date.
Okay. I mean, we actually have something in reference to movies, you know, and a platform that is laying workers off. But we're going to get into that. We veered off a little. But anyways, big salute to Asamoah and everything he's doing, his versatility, his consistency. We actually have a video of him, so yeah, check it out.
Let's see it.
I'm sure people who love his music are gonna love seeing him in the studio again, right?
People would love to see him. I mean, I will not say rest in peace to the missing Castro. I mean, this would have been another opportunity for them to do a good collaboration.
Yeah, but again, I was asking if you think he has something to prove in the creative space when you've done it for so long, and you're releasing something else after taking a break, so to speak. Does it make it harder? Do you think?
I think it makes it hard.
Because like now everyone is looking at you like, okay, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna drop?
I think it depends on the weight of what you're dropping. If what you're dropping is worth the weight, it would work. But if what you're dropping is not worth the weight, people will still.
Yeah. So yes, I'm sure we're gonna hear the full song when it drops. But anyways, credit to Yao Dollar for the video. Big salute to him, and yeah, keep giving us more content. So carrying on, we're veering off to Kumawood a bit and the movie space a bit. Now Netflix, apparently they're laying off, I think 150 workers, and I was reading the story, over 150, and I think that's 2% of their workforce in the United States, and that's a lot in business terms. And a couple of weeks ago, this story came up, and people were like, oh, subscriptions are going up, people are bored of the content, there are more platforms now like Disney Plus, and Hulu is doing so well, HBO Max, all these things. being in the movie industry, it's very good you're here today. What do you think the issue is? Because it seems like Netflix has so much to offer. And the thing is, when you see a company like Netflix, they're having issues, so to speak, it's like, Charlie, if Netflix have no the sit up, then is that a way to look at it? What do you think the problem is?
And the issue of laying people off in companies, in industries, it's not news. I mean, it's been happening. I mean, people are laid off for redundancy and a whole lot of other reasons. And I personally think it's not really a big deal laying people off. There would be a reason. And
People are losing jobs, or any?
People are losing jobs, and things are not going to be any easier. Mm-hmm. That's what I always say. Things are not, looking at the trend and where we're getting to as a world, things are not going to be any easier. Reading the story to a point, I figured that the Ukraine-Russia dispute is also having influence on it.
Okay.
Who's going to have time to watch your movie, your subscription and other things? I mean, the state of the world now is affecting a lot of things. It's just that Netflix is facing it now. And the issue of laying people off is no news. I mean, people are laid off almost all the time. But for a company like Netflix to be laying people off, I think it's...
Okay, what about the content? Now, look at, are you on Netflix?
I'm on Netflix.
What about the content then and now? That's another area of the discussion, right? Because I think rightly so, the state that the world is in, you can't deny things are happening and people are being affected. Looking at the content, are you, as a subscriber, are you happy with the content you're getting as of now? And that's very subjective.
That's very subjective. I mean,
right?
depending on what you love. People go on there to watch documentaries, people moving to watch television shows, other people go on to watch series, other people go on to watch feature films. I mean, it depends on what you want and what you've been, I mean, what you really like to see on Netflix. But with the issue of content, I mean, there are other competitive platforms that are springing up and doing so well. Even locally. Locally, you have Shirley Frimpong, so she has a Sparrow Station, which has a lot of her content on there. I mean, people who love her and love what she does would want to subscribe to her. And
they don't mind watching the same movie over and over,
and over again, depending on what you love. So now it's not just about Netflix. You see, the issue, this is I think this is happening in a decade. For a decade, this is happening for the first time in a decade. And it means that it's really having a toll on them. But looking critically, during the lockdown, a lot of people were redundant, doing almost nothing at home. And people sought to watch. That was the period I got my own subscription. You get it. Times have changed. People are now working now. Borders have been opened. People are working and all that. You wouldn't have that number of people watching like they used to watch anymore. I mean,
so from a business perspective, it seems maybe not fair, but understandable what's happening. Is that what you're saying?
I think it seems not too understandable, but partially it's understandable because you wouldn't have that number of people watching like they used to watch. People would consider Hulu. There were no soccer matches and things. Now people sought to watch other channels that would give them soccer and other sports. People are betting. People are doing a whole lot of other things. So the Netflix tease will not be there as it used to. I mean, we're proud that Netflix has, established a franchise, a space in Nigeria operating fully. I mean, so Africa has something to hold on to in Nigeria. And they're doing a lot of amazing films. A lot of Ghanaian films are also rising up and moving there too. Amazing. But you wouldn't have that number of subscription. And I think that's one of the major issues because the income, at the end of the day, is money you're paying your staff. You are not paying your staff with passion. Or you're not paying them with any other thing. You're paying them with funds. And if funds are not coming in, it's going to be extremely difficult to handle
On the flip side, just to punch this in, so to speak, like you said, Netflix now has a startup in Nigeria doing very well. Do you see more Ghanaian content? Looking at the movies we have now, probably Kuma with probably anything else, do you see us having more content on Netflix? Very honestly, because the movie can be good. Now getting it on such a big platform is another thing. Do you see that happening, even with everything going on?
I think everything depends on the content you're putting on there. Netflix has a standard, and that's a standard you have to meet.
Do we meet that standard?
We're trying.
But do we meet it now?
We're trying. I mean, we have Ghanaian films on Netflix.
We do. Let's be very clear. We do. But when it comes to creativity, you want to I don't want to say saturate, but you want to be there in the mind's eye as much as possible.
Yeah.
Do you see that happening anytime soon? As much as we're trying?
It will happen. I've seen amazing films like Azali, which was produced and directed by Kwabena Ganza, and it's an amazing film.
Okay.
I mean, it did so. I think it went close to the Oscars. I mean, for local language content. I mean, it did so well.
Yeah.
It's an amazing film. Every person must see. I mean, it's in connection with our child trafficking system. Something very educative, and the quality is on point. It has all the amazing actors, Ajiti Anand, Lydia Forsing, and a whole lot. And you see, it's not just about the film. One issue we're facing as a country and as an industry is distribution. A lot of people have amazing films sitting on their laptops and their computers and their desktops. That's somewhere. True. Distribution. We have less knowledge in distribution. How do I even get my film on there? When you consider that in cooking the film, you are thinking, what will be the standard of Netflix?
But sometimes after the premiere, you don't even know where to get the movie. And that's crazy, you know?
I mean, recently I saw a post of one of my friend film critics, and he was talking about the number of Ghanaian films that has been shown in Silverbird, less than 100 since the inception of Silverbird in Ghana. Ask yourself, how many films which are not of Ghanaian origin has been shown on Silverbird screens?
Yeah.
What are we doing? How many cinemas do we have?
Yeah. Seems like the story is deeper.
The story is deeper, and it goes beyond just the individuals. Do we have funds?
Yeah. Because, again, talking to a movie critic, we spoke about something like the AMVCAs, you know, and award shows, per anyone and what they think about awards, very critical and vital to projecting, you know, the talents, you know, the culture, the content on there. And it seems like even our award shows are not where it should be.
Do we have an award show? Do we have an award show? That's the first question. People would say we do, but what's the impact of it? It's not just the show. Do we have the? Is it
talking before the show and after the show?
Is it making an impact? If it's not, then it's just like sharing some carved wood plaques to people. You get it? If it's not making the impact it's supposed to make, then there's no point in having that award scheme.
Yeah.
We need to invest. The country needs to invest. We have amazing locations in Ghana that you can shoot amazing films. We don't need to do extreme CGI. We don't need to do extreme green screen. We have all the natural spaces we can use for amazing films. When you go to the States, they might not have these mountains and stuff we have here to shoot films. Go to Quill. I mean, just look at the amazing streets. Look at the houses there.
You know, there's, again, on the other side of the spectrum, per these discussions, again, I've spoken to some people and they're like, if the content is good, we'll watch it. Do you think we need to work on our content too? And again, that involves the actors, you know, that involves the writers, the directors, the producers. Apart from investing, do you think that's something we should look at? Or the content is as good as it can be right now?
People are saying if the content is good. Honestly, let me tell you, there's a mindset and a mentality about things produced in Ghana. You walk to a shop and you have a shoe made by Ghanaian and you have another shoe made by Gucci.
You won't buy the Ghanaian
I'm
stuff,
telling you, it will take divine intervention. Of course.
Like you won't. These are things that happen.
We need to wash it. We need to reset.
Yeah.
We need to reset. When we reset our mind, we'll be able to get close to where we want to get to. They're amazing Ghanaian films. People have not even heard it before. Because you wouldn't go to the cinema and pay to sit and watch a Ghanaian film.
And the good thing is, I mean, we're talking about Netflix, right? But even with the Ghanaian content that we want on Netflix, we have to look at these issues that we're talking about. A mindset shift, so to speak, is going to get more content on platforms like Netflix. And even if not the content itself, the people who are in the content, the actors, the actresses, they're going to get called. And we're always going to say, a Ghanaian actor named was on this platform, or in this movie, on this platform, like Netflix,
not to cut you, an issue about actors, which we really need to work on. They are amazing actors in Ghana. Jason, you are an amazing actor.
Thank you.
I've seen you feature in a couple of films. I mean, we have stuck to, quotes, A-list actors for a very long time. There are a lot of Netflix originals.
Do you know what's funny?
Tell me about it.
Do you know what's funny? I've been asking this question. Why don't I see young actors and stuff? Again, it comes back to what we started with, attitude. They don't want to, they don't know how to act. They've not been through it. They just come do a couple of scenes and then they go. They want to be treated a certain way. But I've always said, you know, that's something that we really need to talk about, because one thing is times change.
Yeah.
People, I want to say this, people understand what they deserve.
Yes.
You know, it's not going to be like the old days. If you call me and don't pay me, I'm still going to be in the movie because I want to be passionate about it. If people are not getting paid, they might not want to be in the movies. And I've had old heads who said, no, it doesn't start like that. You need to go through it. You need to be on sets where you don't get paid. So looking at spectrums, right, it seems like there's an imbalance to what people feel they deserve and what they should do.
Exactly.
And that's leading to the things we're not even producing.
Yeah.
But again, it's a deeper conversation.
We have just a handful of actors.
It's a very deep conversation.
We don't even have child actors, young actors, juvenile actors.
We don't.
I mean, everybody... That you see,
I'm sure you bring them out in your script. In your
soon.
Script,
I mean,
right?
soon. That's the reason why I ventured into talent management, because there are a lot of amazing actors, a lot of amazing producers, a lot of amazing gifts that people have, but the opportunity to be seen. I mean, it's one major thing. We've stuck to A-list actors for a very long time, and they don't even go for auditions. Charlie, you deserve the script. Charlie, this script, fine boy, can't you do this?
Very interesting you're bringing this up.
I've seen a lot of Ghanaian actors. I mean, one major person, Maoli Gavo, I mean, when he was in Ghana, we didn't see the films. Nigeria took him, and they've made him a gold mine. He's doing amazing. He's doing amazing.
But you know something? There's this also... the part that is like, okay, I'll put these young actors on. Premiere and Silverbird, like you were saying, Lord, less than 100 movies, Ghanaian movies since Silverbird started.
Yes.
Now, if you put them on, how many people are going to want to come and see a new actor? As fair, and trust me, it's not fair. But these are conversations I've been having on this set. It's like producers and directors, even behind the scenes. It's like, Jay, if we put them on, people are not going to want to come and watch the movie. People are not going to pay to watch this movie because they don't know this guy or this lady. They want the veteran who rightly is saying, oh, we're just going to send them a script. They just come and do what they want to do.
How did that veteran become a veteran? That was the first day he was brought on set. And that was a sacrifice the director or the producer made.
So now it's people behind the scenes. They're also...
people behind the scenes. The executive producer calls a lot of the shots. He's investing money into the production. He tells...
So that means we're not taking enough risks.
The hierarchy of production is not being respected in Ghana. The executive producer is the director, he's the actor, he's the everything.
So I mean, he ends up there.
You see, people don't even know that we have sound designers who score movies. Like people, and there are a lot of music producers who are just there and they are thinking about the next artist to produce. There are lots of hierarchies in film production, and that would really help people to produce very great movies. We need to be schooled, we need to be educated, and we need to read about it, and we will find it.
Again, we need to have the veterans and the young ones sit together and hash it out. I've
said a good conversation.
I said it right.
It will start right on this platform.
But I am loving this conversation.
Me
and
too. 100%.
It's always very interesting to me how, even when we're talking about stories, because this is Netflix, right?
Yeah.
It shows that we need to have deeper dialogue, to get on these platforms, to get out there, because let's be honest, we want to be out there as much as possible. We want to see you working and taking an Oscar one day. Say amen to that. Big
Hallelujah.
Amen to that. Amen to that, guys. Quick commercial break. When we get back, we're not leaving just yet. We have something or some other stuff as interesting to talk about. Stay tuned.
Hey, Abrantia, Aketesia, EB family, Charlie, MX24. My baby, must say, baby, about them people that do Mumma and bad.
Hey guys, this is your girl Bishasha.
This is the best MC, best hype man in Ghana 2020. I beg you success, the highest MC. Keep watching MX24.
It is fun, it is fearless, it is factual.
Meson, ni besibia, meson.
Need the best of in-depth analysis, top personality interviews, trending and breaking news all come your way. I'll be serving you with football conversations, life-hearted, lifestyle-related conversations, all on Off the Cuff. Join me, Derek Ayim, this and every Monday to Friday between 4 and 5 p.m. only on MX24 TV.
You sweet, but girl, your love is sweeter. My hair, you pay for my hair. I know fit to reset.
The gossip, maybe I was born faithful until the first female who suddenly broke a vow.
I feel like you can be my baby.
What
if
I
broke, now my business. And I show you go buy to
I hire a permanent fan. Yeah, free cocoa, being called, yeah, bad things go from a side.
No hands, still I can't believe. You know what I mean? I was young, what you expect from me? It is what it is.
Welcome back, my people. Once again, send us messages, and thank you so much for tuning in. We're getting loads and loads of messages, but I'm always going to ask you guys to send more because it's all about opinions and perspectives. At MX24GH on every platform and at the hashtag MXLive. And as always, I'm loving today's conversation so much. But send us all the messages, again, based on what you think we're talking about in reference. Do you think it's going the right direction with the things that are happening, like Netflix, like the Ghana movie industry, and all of these things, the old heads, you know, the new kids on the block? What's happening? Is there a disconnect? Let us know. And add the hashtag once again, MXLive. Shout out to my people, Vintages GH. Charlie, interesting stuff, man. And when it's very easy, you know, to just come out. Oh, and that's actually going to lead to my next story. It's about Mr. Easy. Charlie, it's the music, it's the rap.
Charlie,
it's very easy.
The words.
It's very easy to see the cool stuff, you know, the glitz and the glamour, but the things that go on behind the scenes that lead to the glitz and the glamour. Somebody doing so well, you know, you shoot a movie, example, for a month, and the movie is an hour long. Shoot a movie for 6 months, a year, 2 years. So again, thank you so much for making time. One thing I want to ask you again, leading to our story, is what do you think about events in Ghana? Again, events, VGMAs, you know, 3 Music Awards, Ghana Movie Awards, you know, even these award shows that are outside the country, you know. I think there's Ghana Movie Awards UK. Yeah. You know, and I know. And there's definitely going to be the comparison to stuff like the AMVCAs, the Africa Magic Video Choice Awards. Yeah. There's always going to be that comparison. Yeah. We're always going to compare the VGMAs to the Grammys. It's always going to happen. What do you think about the state of events in Ghana right now?
Honestly, I would say events have seen a massive growth in Ghana. Honestly, looking at how events were put together before and how it's put together now. Now people even do full production of events. I mean, they consider pre-production, they consider the production of the event itself and the post-production. I mean, PR articles and things that will go around, I mean, to push the event out there. So it's not just about the D-Day. People are looking at a lot of things. I mean, people are looking at advertising in terms of events. People mount billboards for events. Before, it wasn't really like, before you can put up a billboard for an event, I mean, we're getting sponsorship. Corporate bodies are jumping in to support events. It's amazing. Now, let's look at the content. What kind of content what kind of content are we creating? Does it meet that kind of sponsorship we're getting? Does it meet that kind of promotion we're getting? We're doing amazing. I mean, can I jump into Easy?
Yeah, you can. I mean, that's what we're going to jump into. So it's do the honors when jumping.
I mean, Mr. Easy has been doing amazing with his Dirty Rave. I mean, since its inception in 2017. I mean, it's just because of the COVID that he put a halt to the whole event production. But Easy has been doing amazing. From his publicity, I mean, just look at this year. He's decided to tour schools. He selected 3 universities already. That's Cape Coast University, Legon University of Ghana, and his own alma mater, KUST. I mean, he's adding that to his list to tour those schools. And I hear he's having a 4th one too. He's yet to decide though. Let's see which one he has.
I'm happy Legon is in there.
Legon is all 3. I mean, the rest, right now I see
Legon is in there. I don't really
right now be your own. So, try. I mean, so he's doing all these. These are pre-events. You see, I spoke about the event itself and the post. I mean, he's considering all these things to gather energy to gather momentum for the real event itself. Is every event doing this?
And the energy needed, you have to gather.
Thank you.
Before just that one night.
Just that one night, even if it's 2 days.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's for his pre-production. He's doing a lot of tours. I'm sure he'll be making a lot of radio and TV appearances. Let's look at the production itself. He took the pain to convert containers into cabanas for his last Dirty Rave. Yeah. And that was amazing.
That's new. That's content.
That's new. He used the Bearland close to Spintex. That thing has been deserted for a long time. Whoever thought an event could happen there? That is the production itself. He's thought of it. He's considered things that he would add to make the production work. Definitely, I know a couple of people, his road manager and a few other people who are in a team. They're putting a lot of energy, a lot of research. They're putting a lot of investment into just that maybe 2 days or a day event. The event itself, look at the people he brings aboard. He brought Rick Ross the other time to Ghana.
Yeah.
And this is quality event. People will pay a lot to see Rick Ross and other people. He brought is it Black Coffee? Is it what's the thing? He brought a few other artists. I mean, I've forgotten.
I mean, he brings loads of artists.
Loads and loads and loads.
There was even rumors that Drake was coming on the last one. Like, I was excited. I was just like, Drake? But the fact that even an event can create that sort of hype, where to the extent, even if it didn't happen, that it's believable, means that, again, he's doing something right.
He's doing amazingly well. That's for the production itself and the pre-production. And the post-production, after the event itself, a lot of other things go into play. The PRs that comes out, they make sure good articles are gone out of the events. They make sure that things that didn't go right, they apologize. I mean, a lot of things go into play when you're putting together an event. I mean, the setup, set design alone, the kind of sound. I mean, when a big reference to when what's her name? Cardi B, when she came to Ghana. They rejected a sound Ghana offered.
Really?
Yes. They had to go to Ivory Coast.
Wow.
Yes, to bring in sound. They rejected what Ghana offered. That is excellence.
Wow. I didn't know this.
Did I say this on air? I did. I mean, I had close conversations with people who
I didn't know this.
Yes. They rejected what Ghana offered. So they had to go to Ivory Coast to bring in sound.
And that's a very big deal because...
Exactly, it is.
It's a very big deal.
It is. It is. So putting together an event, a lot of things come to play. I can't pay too much to get to an event and hear trash, quotes.
I feel you.
Even if I'm at the back or I'm at the overflow, I'm supposed to hear good
music.
With
all the things that you said, again, there's like a very big structure, right? The artist performing, the sound, the stage lighting. What do you think, as of now, other event organizers should pick up the most? Should we take little bits of what, for example, Mr. Easy is doing, the promotion, the sound and all these things? Or is there something that you think, per event you've been to, that we're missing the most right now?
I think what we're missing the most is about the, has to do with performances from the artists.
Really?
Sometimes.
Because fans have said we see the same artists all the time. They have said these things. Like, we see the biggest artists all the time. We don't have diversity from our own artists. You know, you go to this show, you see this artist. You go to this show, you see this artist. Is that?
That's not a problem. People have seen Beyonce like 50 billion times. But every time she comes on stage, she's bringing in the X Factor.
Same time in 1 month.
Maybe not in 1 month, but I mean, I'm driving at a point that anytime she appears on stage, she's coming in with an X Factor. She's coming in for what the people paid for. She's bringing in something new. I can hear one song for a long time, but it depends on, if it's live, it depends on how it's going to be presented. The X Factor, what are you bringing, stagecraft, what are we looking at?
So it's not necessarily the artist on, but what they're doing on stage.
Exactly, what they're doing on stage. I mean, it can be one artist touring the whole of Ghana, but what are you bringing on stage? What's the new thing? What's the X Factor? We watched the 3 Music Awards. We saw what happened. We watched VGME. We saw what happened. We can tell the clear difference now. No, I mean, I've not said anything. Chill.
I'm sure you enjoyed both to some extent.
Ghana.
To some extent.
To some extent, I did.
Yeah.
But honestly,
I get you.
We saw it. We all saw it. And we can still see it because there are videos. And I mean,
so which one did you prefer? Just to be clear, because there are 2 different award shows. So which do you prefer? You
They are all amazing award shows. But I have my biases though, which can be compromised. But it's all about what we're bringing out. They could be the same artist. Which other artist do you want? If you're not making wave and you're not exploring and you're not out there, who's going to call you for a show?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a business.
You're miming.
Yeah.
You're miming. You're not even doing live. You're not performing live. You're miming. What else do you want us to see? We can go home and listen to your tapes. And we'll be fine. Maybe with a glass of wine or something.
I think it's very cool that of all the things, the structure, you said the artists, because probably the most integral.
Exactly.
You know,
they are
when
the
it
ones
comes,
people come to see.
they're the ones people come to see, even though there is stage and lighting and sound. But again, don't you think we don't pay attention to these things? The stage, light is very, very important. And I mean, I'm speaking for the people who work on the lights, you know. They are part of the system. Do you think we're not paying attention to these things?
Of course, we're not paying attention to lights.
Charlie, you're on some stages, and the stages, like, they're not even as solid as they should be.
I remember some year, I think 2 years ago, Sarkodie almost got stuck on the VGMA stage. I mean, the time he was performing with these arts, what are their names? We did that collaboration with all these lineup. He was up there, and it took a very long time for him to come down. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Did they really rehearse that?
I'm sure they did. Maybe there are glitches. I mean, maybe there are glitches.
Fine, but if the production was well done, we shouldn't see it. There should be a way to cover up. Yeah. We shouldn't see it. That's what I'm saying. We're just focusing. Okay, so I spoke about the artists. Let's look at the lighting and the production design.
Which Mr. Easy has nailed over the past couple of years. Let's put in there.
We have event producers. We have people who are in charge of directing the show. They are backstage and they are making noise. They are directing the show. Do we have directors of shows here in Ghana? Do you have people who are directing events in Ghana? It's just about some list, program lineup. Oh, your time is over. It's 5 minutes. Charlie, do something. Maybe go ahead. You're saying just one song. You're saying just 2 songs. I mean, when we talk about these, the people go to the extent. Let me talk about Three Music. I mean, maybe I don't know the people. I don't have anything to do with them. But they went a long way, even procuring clothes for the artists. Some artists are very good, but maybe they are not so good as to what to pick for the shows. They went to the extent of getting them the costumes. I mean, maybe they paid for it or something, but they were in charge of, they knew what they were doing. Everything is intertwined. Everything is linked together. I'm performing maybe it's a slow song. I need some mood lights. You know what's coming. You're talking to the live person. This is what we need. There's a communication. You're not too big a star to stay home and appear that day and say you want to perform because you have some dancers backstage or an email you can call. Yeah. No.
And these are things we
do. You rehearse? Right? Do you show up for rehearsals? You don't. How do you want your show to go on well? You think you're an A-list musician, so what?
Yeah. There is something to be said there. You know, we've had these things where artists are late, and so again, like you said, it's a big disconnect, you know.
There is a big disconnect, honestly.
we need to find the solution to, because just to chip this in, we've been saying that events there's always a lateness. Is it more on the organizers to start on time? Is it more of is it because we're pertaining to the audience? We wait for the auditorium, so to speak, to be maybe 70% capacity.
Not to even catch you, not to cut you.
All these things, right?
With the timing. I mean, we can start practicing the principle of seat fillers. Grammys, they have seat fillers.
I said this here. They said it's expensive.
No, it's not expensive.
I said this.
Claudia Lumor used seat fillers for some of her fashion shows because you need front rows to be filled, because there are pictures going out, there are videos going out, maybe you're streaming live. The show has to start. How do you deal with it? You need seat fillers. And they have to have buzzers. When it's time to get up, for the original person who owns the seats to come there, you know that your time is up. You get up, the other person feels in smoothly. We don't even see the place is empty. Video production, how are we shooting? We're using a wide shot, eliminating people. We're using a close shot because the song is very intimate. We're having these props on set. All these things goes into pre-production and preparation for it. Rehearsals. How many times are we rehearsing for the show? What theme are we all going to use for the show? Colors,
it's good.
Lighting, things are just flickering around like disco. Like, what are we doing?
It's good to hear that Mr. Easy Show has drawn up this conversation too, because Charlie, I'm sure if he wasn't doing as well, people wouldn't patronize as much. But again, the writing's on the wall. Again, like 3 Music Awards, for the short period of time they've been in the game to do what they're doing production-wise, it's crazy. It's incredible. yes, Mr. Easy is doing something right. And it's something that a lot of artists who are handling their own shows, because it's not just these big award shows that we criticize. You know, I've always said we have an obligation and a duty to the audience, to the listeners, to the viewers, you know, to give them the content they want to see. And when they come to shows, when they come on set, we have this obligation to treat them right because they pay for it. They pay for these things.
Give me the worth of my money.
So, let's see. Hopefully it gets right soon. But we've been hoping that it gets right soon for a long time.
3 Music proved it. I mean, they shot even amazing videos which are better than the original videos of some of the artists.
Okay, on that note, guys, we have to sign off. Charlie, what do you want to add before you do leave? Again, thank you so much for coming through today, my brother. Thank you so much. I mean, interesting conversation.
I think our industry is doing so well. Our industry has seen growth. I think our industry has seen a lot of new faces, and we have amazing potentials. And I mean, the talents and the passion and the character of people shouldn't be belittled. But once again, passion is not enough. Character is what will keep you staying on in the game. Consistency is better out of character.
We've seen so many talented people who haven't been able to hold on to the craft, right?
Exactly. Character is very necessary. Passion is not enough. We need to add character to stay consistent.
Nice one. Charlie, thank you again so much for coming through. I hope you come through soon. And this is your home.
Don't worry,
this is your set.
I'm here.
You can help us design a new set, right?
Oh, we'll do something.
Yeah, we definitely work on something. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. We do have to sign out. It's been, you know, MX Live. Send us messages on all platforms at MX24GH. Check Ohene out. Please, when you drop any new content of your own soon?
Very soon. But I mean, I have this new act I'm bringing up.
Okay.
So he's an amazing. He's an actor and presenter. Oh, he'll be coming soon. He's called Anthony James.
Okay.
He's been in the UK for a while. And he's here to settle in Ghana.
Nice one.
And he's doing amazingly well.
Nice
and shout out to everybody. You can follow me on my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube, everywhere. It's Brauhene. Brauhene with a double A. BRAAOHENE. Let's get in touch.
Brad, they have money. Our sister, you know, they have a lot of
really?
When you see him, worry him. Guys,
worry.
Tomorrow, same time, 3 to 4 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in, but still, stay tuned into MX24. Salute.
Angelina, you be cool in my temperature. If you call,
say cheese, take a picture. Shaka pose, make I see, take a picture.
in the leg book, boa.
Why the party there today? Hey mama, hey I have a sip. Shake your body.
Hi everyone, I'm Catherine from Ghana Made, and welcome to our series called Find Your Way Back, where I'll be interviewing amazing individuals that have moved back to Ghana from the diaspora.
You have to be willing to take a little bit of a risk and be willing to leave some of the comforts behind.
You know, shit was meant to be hot.
Yeah.
But then regardless...
It wasn't hot for you?
It wasn't hot for me.
I needed to adapt to the Ghana way of living, but not take that
from them.
Exactly.
It's such a beautiful country. Our people are so beautiful.
No topic is off limits. The pain of experiencing a miscarriage is something that can crumple your world.
We're talking postpartum bodies